All right, guys. This is your boy DJ Wolf Live. Let's get in it right quick. All right. It's the usual. This is a little bit usual than what I normally do. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get it in today. First podcast I think I did in a while. I got a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to get through them right quick. First thing first, Trump is a fucking idiot. That's all I'm going to say. Done. I'm more on that on another podcast. Right now, I wanted to talk about 3 or 4 things, actually. I don't even know where to begin. One of the things is how us, black as African Americans, sometimes we try to do there's things that we do that a lot of our parents and grandparents never got a chance to do, and we start doing them, and then you see people look at you all different, like, oh yeah, look at you got this and you got that. Oh, you got a nice big house and the car, that. What is it with us? Do we just love being miserable the rest of our lives? You know, there's nothing in this country says you have to be poor. You know, I'm not rich, but I'm just saying, there's nothing in this country that says you have to be poor. Yeah, there's no law against you not being poor. Okay? So why is it if it comes to somebody, if people who go out there and try to get a good education and a good job, they try to live a better life than their parents and grandparents did, why people always frown on them? They're constantly doing that. It's because of the lack of the things, the resources, the things you try to do that you eventually wouldn't do or couldn't do or didn't bother to do, you know, or even failed to do. You know, I was in a situation like that before, years ago, and I know somebody was telling me about, they were saying the mother was telling them about their brother, and she said to him, but some of us are not as fortunate. Meanwhile, the brother in question wasn't doing what you're supposed to be doing. Going to school, staying in school instead of dropping out of school and not trying to get the education they needed to get. You know, not sticking to the books like they needed to do. You know, and staying on the grind school so you can get to where they need to be. Failed to mention that part. Meanwhile, a friend of mine, he did everything in his part to do what he needed to do to be out there and to be successful, and to be successful for himself and his family. I was watching and then she called, she tried to pull a bias on him. She was being biased towards him because of what he was doing versus what his brother wasn't doing. I was watching this show on BET called Murder in the Thirst. Very interesting show. I'm kind of glued to it. My wife kind of hit me up to it. And a lot of that talks about different things between people, you know. But it also talks about people who call, so try to claw it with the top illegal. And then there's some about people who got their way to the top and fought their way to the top legally, and people try to burn it. Or did burn it in some cases. I happened to watch a particular one. I forgot the baller's name. I know he played with, I think he played with Orlando. I forgot his name. But anyway, I just saw it. And he was very successful. You know, he was Lay's man. You know, but he wanted more than just being in the NBA. So by the time he reached his 30s, he dropped out the NBA. You know, and got out early, retired early, very early. Turned down some $30-some-odd million, I believe. Matter of fact, it was 30. I think it was 36 million. Something. It was a ridiculous amount that he turned down. A boatload of money. But then they find, later on in the story, they talked about his brother. He had a brother, older brother, who didn't do what he should have been doing out there, and had some issues. But the younger brother stayed to his grind and became a success. And I think at some point, in that situation, I think his mom was trying to get him to help his older brother and a bunch of stuff like that, But eventually, the story ended, had a very tragic ending. I'm not going into detail. You had to watch Murder in First on BET. All right, man, I gave it a shameless plug. What I'm trying to say is, man, our culture teaches people that have a need for entitlement to people who do versus people who don't. And I'm gonna say this right up front, and I'm gonna be off the cuff about it, but that's fucked up. You telling me the ones who do have to do more to satisfy the ones who don't, or don't ever try? That's bullshit. It's straight out. I mean, it's crazy, And our culture's always been like that, and we gotta get out that mentality of, I knew he'd be the one. He knew he'd be the one, and he gonna help get everybody up out this mess. Yeah, but this guy, but could you help him? It's not their responsibility to try, to help themselves, get themselves, focus on what they need to do, because you didn't teach them that. You only focus on the one, and the other one had to just fall back and watch. Even though you lead by example, others just have to wait and see what you're going to do, and then they're going to decide to go ahead and try to leech on to your ass. This is why a lot of a number of black families move out the neighborhood over the years, particularly when the job market went down, because you teach that mentality, or hood mentality in some people. Well, I don't really call it hood mentality, but you teach that mentality of give them a hand up, and not a handout, but it's actually a handout. I've personally been in situations where people would literally try to get me to give somebody a handout. I said, no. You gotta start, at some point you gotta start doing, and I hate to say using the term doing for self, but you gotta start learning to do, period. And stop waiting on somebody else to, bail you out of every damn thing that you ain't never tried to get out of yourself. Stop making them excuses about, well, daddy in my life wasn't in my life, or mama wasn't in my life, or, I know somebody personally whose dad was never in their life, and they're doing quite well, I might add. True story. But their other family members, different situation. They took a different path. But then I know of guys and gals who were raised in the same type of families with no father ever in their life. Or if they were, the dad wasn't about shit. And yet they still found a way to get through. They didn't make excuses about it. They didn't wallow in pity. They didn't go out drinking and smoking and doing drugs and all the other bullshit. They went out, got their head right, set themselves apart from the rest, and moved on and forged ahead, and not made any excuses about it at all. That's what you got to do. you know. But our cultural mentality got these mamas asking for people to help everybody and cousin out because they didn't bother to do what they're supposed to do to raise their own kids, and they want everybody else to help raise them for them. You know, or the ones who should be helping, who are available and they can do, they never talk to them. They never ask them. They never. It's just ridiculous, man. And to me, this is why I'm a very, I can't even say private, bro, but I am. I mean, I'm a very, I kind of like not deal with a lot of bullshit in my life. Let me put it to you like that. I don't. I cut the bullshit out real quick. I had a situation like that not too long ago where I had no choice but to cut the bullshit out. And to this day, I don't even deal with it. I don't. I cannot, and I will not. You know? People always try to be your friends when they think you got something, and then when you ain't got nothing, they don't want nothing. They won't even call you. They won't be bothered with you. They want nothing to do with your ass. Period. You know? I've been on both sides of the coin. If they thought I had, but you know, I just you know, people. I don't know. I don't understand our culture, man. I swear I don't. You know, I try to put myself in the shoes of, even with the younger crowd, like my son and stuff. Now, my son is a 20-something guy. All right, he's done a lot of amazing things in his life in his age. I'm really proud of him. And technically, I couldn't put myself in his shoes because I've been in his shoes having a father in my life. But I'm talking about like trying to put myself in my shoes of a man who never had his father in his life. And all thing I can say is, man, you know, like I said, I've known of guys who didn't have fathers in their life and they became very successful without them. You know. But you have to make your mark in this world, whether you have parents behind you or not. You can't wait on other people, and that's what I was saying before. Jesus, traffic, man, it's killing me out here today. You can't wait for other people to, you know, to do this, that, and the other. If it ain't going to happen, you got to make a way to do it for yourself. You know, at some point you have to. You can't just sit, because I could have done it. I mean, if I've been waiting around for somebody, you know, to give me a job all these years, you know, I'll be still sitting around waiting for somebody to give me a job. But at some point in life, man, you have to go out there and make things happen where it puts you, you know, in a position to get involved with jobs and stuff like that. A lot of times we ain't willing to work that hard. You know. Many times over, we don't bother. We're waiting for somebody else to do it for us or to hook us up or give you that freebie or something like that, man. And I watched a couple of TV shows. I'm not going to mention shows. I may have already talked about it anyway. Where when you watch them, that's all they talk about, hustle. It's like this stereotypical thing of what we supposed to do as what we supposedly do as black people. But that's not all about us, you know. It's ridiculous. But, as a matter of fact, I was just going to talk to you about this too. I'll give you an example. I went to the dealer. Just up there last night. I turned in tag. I mean, my titles. I'm sorry about it. Turn in my titles. Turn in my title. Turn the key fob. You know what this Negro going to ask me? Did I make a copy of it? No, I have a copy of what you guys said you purchased from me. And your ass better, and I started telling that, but I'm like, you know, so the the sales guy and he's a nice guy, man. He checked me out and said, hey, everything okay? I said, everything good. Surprised he asked me that, but that's another story. And he called today. I guess a courtesy call. I should have went and dropped off the papers today. And I could have, but I didn't feel like going today. So, but I didn't. I dropped off a day early. And but the guy last night was talking about that. I know who the guy is. So if he won't play a game, we ain't gonna play a game. And this is regarding me dropping my paperwork off. But anyway, he said, did I make cops? No, I didn't. But I said, oh, well, man. I almost said, well, should I? Did I need to? And really, I don't think I needed to because we had already took care of it. That's the only thing I need to drop off. But I should drop it. What I should do was give it to the guy who actually was going to take it from me, who I actually did the deal with, which is a finance officer. But that's all right. So the other dealer called me up and asked me, but he didn't seem to know. So I told him, I said, well, this is what happened, blah, 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 blah. I gave him so-and-so, and you should check with him. But he just happened to call me today. I'm kind of surprised he did, though. Well, he said it was a courage call. I think he was just looking to see if I was coming down there. I ain't fucking down there every day. I'm coming down there every day for him. But I almost was not going to deal with a black run dealership because I dealt with a black run dealership before. Them niggas were nasty as hell to me. I had bought a 300 years ago when it first came out, and the dudes was nasty as hell to me. I mean, very nasty, very nasty. I told myself I'd never go back here again. I only went there one time and took my car there. I ain't never been back since. And then a year later, they closed the shop. They closed it right on up. But yeah, closed it right on up. Not long after that. Didn't really totally surprise me, but nevertheless, it's what we doing? What people drive like they don't know what the hell they're doing out here on the road. But you can't always trust who you know based on who you are. In other words, not everybody your friend is your kind. Or not everybody your kind is your friend. I'm finding out to be more and more of a true statement every single day. Because many of them are not. Many of them are not at all. You know? And when you deal with businesses black run, not black owned. See, black owned, people ain't gonna screw you around like that. But black run, yeah, they don't care. Because they'll screw you around until the white man anything. And then for you got burned over some old stupid stuff that they said that likely might not have been true. You know? But it just gets on it gets on your nerves, man. It gets on your freaking nerves. And it gets annoying. Because when he made that statement, I was like, and he said in front of 3 other people were sitting right there. And I'm like, why does this asshole want to say that shit? See, I've been loyal to them, being a customer over there for the last damn near 2 weeks, and he gonna come over and make that comment. You know, like I might pull something on you. That's nigga babble with somebody I call playing the fucking head games. And some people don't play that. Really, I'm one of them. I don't play that. I'm a nice person. I just joke around, but man, this is business, you know. When you're doing business, you don't fuck around with people like that. You know, this is business. And whew, you know, I'm too good for a person to be F with like that. Real talk. People should not do that. People should not ever do that. You know, especially when it comes to business, because this was a business transaction. You know, and you saying that mess, instead of just calling the person out that I need to go see to drop it off to, you won't say blah, blah, blah. You know, and they do that mess they want to. I'll be owning that dealership before you know it. Yeah, they do the wrong thing. That's what's gonna happen. Real talk. I'll be suing that. But I'm hoping it don't come down to that. But I'm gonna make a suggestion, you guys. If it ain't black owned, watch yourself dealing with black run businesses. I don't care who they are. If it's black run, not black owned, watch yourself. That's coming from me, because I know I've been in a situation where you have black run businesses and not black owned, and they act a plum fool on you. That's a fact. That's a straight out fact. One straight out fact. That's why I don't like deal with Negroes too much, man. You know, you can't have anything. If your family to something a little bit better, everybody want to trash you and stuff, man. Like, yeah, hell you think? I mean, I remember when I bought my first house, and I didn't go that far. I mean, I was still living in the hood. You know, I lived there for 11 years. I paid my dues over there, so to speak. We did all kind of crazy stuff over there, and people were jealous of that. Old house. It was an old house on top. It was an older house. Much older house. And people was talking junk. I had a co-worker. I was like, man, you got nuts. You got that big house. Oh, my God. My mother-in-law did the same thing. I was like, really? Really? Y'all jealous of this 2-level ramper that, hell, had problems with water leaks and all that? Oh, are you serious? Man, come on. And they had to pour money into the house. Money pit. I mean, come on. And talking all kind of smack. All kind of smack. All kind of smack to me, man. I said, I don't know, black people you just got black people out here just got their head in the ass all day, man. And this shit gets annoying. It really does. It gets annoying as fuck. To a point you don't even want to deal with them at all. It really does. It's like, man, are you serious? Really? Really? Are you that spiteful? Are you that hateful? Are you that jealous? You know, I could see if I was just an old crumb bummy dude and you trying to figure out where the hell he get all that money from. He don't work it for anybody. And all of a sudden he come out and get something brand new, this or brand new that. And it don't work. But somebody who worked, we always get so disrespected. My dad, God rest his soul, my father, and I'm going to refer back to him because there's a lot of life lessons behind a lot of stuff I've seen, witnessed, and heard, spoken to from my dad directly. We moved into our first house in 1972. And we had some very envious neighbors there. My dad had a brand new garage built. He had bought a brand new car within 2 years after we did. He did all that. He had a pretty good job. And I'm like, so why you guys hate it? You know, this is a man. Oh, I'm finding another thing. This is a man, there's no joke, who I know firsthand worked a 12-hour shift, and boy, there were number of nights where he did. But he worked primarily. Can I paint that again? Damn. Primary from 12 to 8. We talking about 12 a.m. Not 12 p.m. to 8 o'clock. We talking about from 12 a.m. midnight to 8 a.m. the next morning, and come back and do it all over again. And sometimes I had to do it on weekends, or maybe sometimes I had to do doubles. He did it for about a decade. All right, before we got in our first house. Do you know niggas was jealous of him then? I'm like, what the fuck y'all jealous about? This is a man who worked his ass off, worked double sometimes, to make sure that we had everything we want, to keep his family afloat and living good and happy, Just so some of y'all motherfuckers can be jealous. And he turned around and bought a new car the next year. The niggas was flipping about that. I'll never forget that. And then we talking about between 1974 and 1976. Yeah. Negroes. Negroes will never grow up, man. They'll never grow up. I'm going to give a big shout out to Black Introvert. For kind of really, I ain't going to say school me, but for bringing that subject back up. Because I've talked about it before. And the brother was right, man. We ain't never going to grow up. We ain't done it all these years. The question is, are we going to ever do it? Because you seem like we deal with the same bullshit over and over and over and over again. It's a shame. And we still continue to deal with the same bullshit over and over and over and over again. I'm downright tired of it. I said my dad dealt with that kind of BS in the 70s. I dealt with the same stuff 20 years later. And I'm dealing with the same stuff another 20 years later. Jealousy. People tend to pass it on. And it's one of the many infrastructures that has torn our community and our culture apart. Well, look at him. He fancy nigga. Well, look at her. She fancy swangy. Meanwhile, you ain't trying to do nothing and you still ain't got a pot to piss in. Because you worry about what everybody else doing. I always say, why should I worry about what everybody else doing? I need to go do what I need to go do. So I can be where I want to be in life. Stop worrying about what everybody else doing and worry about what I need to do for myself and my family. That's what's important. And that's what should be important to you and everybody else around you. Period. This is DJ Wolf.